the interesting thing is there's three kind of immediate themes that everyone in the last 3 days and as we go back to our offices is worried about. One which we've been worried about for the last 1 year, which is the dollar weakening. Two is the impending tax holiday ending in 2010. And third, of course, which is the last 90 days problem, is there going to be a major recession in the US? How deep, how long, and how is that going to affect us? So that's an immediate concern that all of us are dealing with. And my response to those is, yeah, I think the first we've lived with now for a year. None of us like it, but it looks as if the era of dollar depreciation may have come to an end. The second is again up in the air, and we'll have to live with some level of uncertainty on the tax situation. And the third one is not clear to me is necessarily a bad thing, because as the US slows down, we might find as many opportunities as we find challenges or cut downs. It's not going to be easy times, and I think those of us who can tactically deal with the fact that maybe some kinds of projects go away, but maybe there's a lot of increase in litigation in the US, so some kind of other kind of projects go up. We need to figure that out and be, as we have been in the past, fairly deft and nimble. But if you walk away from the immediate, and these three obsessions are very real, I'm not saying they're not, but we have to deal with them. Looking over a kind of a longer time period and looking at some more fundamentals, I find most exciting is the fact that we had 180 companies apply for the NASSCOM Innovation Awards. We only gave it to about 10, and who knows, we might have picked the wrong 10. There might be out of those 170 some SAPs or Salesforce.coms or things like that sitting there which might emerge. So clearly we did not have, 5 years ago, when we asked for innovation and so on, we did not get 180 entries, and they were fairly robust entries. So that means there's 180 projects or 180 companies being funded, efforts being funded. There's investment happening, either through our friends in the Indian diaspora in California, or frankly, through many non-Indians who we owe a great debt to, who have placed their bets on India and funded and been early converts and early believers. So that, to my mind, is a fundamental tectonic shift. We've always been worried, are we going to be services players? Are we going to move up the ladder? Are we going to do intellectual property? Clearly, we are. Now, of course, as you know, in that business, 9 out of 10 disappear, but the one that emerges the winner is a big success. So that's a good part of what is happening underlying. I also think that the talent issue that we've been concerned about seems to be, in its own way, either through internal training programs, incremental engineering colleges. At least the awareness is so sharp, it's aware not just in the industry, but across government, across society, it is getting addressed. So on both counts, one has to feel fairly good about the underlying trends. And therefore, I would say, as a betting man, if you're looking at a 5-year perspective, there's some very exciting things happening. And of course, from a purely investment thesis, of course, it might be in some of those 170 private companies, not necessarily in the big public ones. But it seems to me we have got a very interesting 5 years and a very rewarding 5 years ahead for us, notwithstanding, and as I keep coming back, we have to live with those three dragons that are bothering all of us.
Thanks, Jerry. I think that's very